A letter, hidden for a decade, whispered my betrayal in faded ink. I was 75, a grandmother, tending hydrangeas in a craftsman bungalow in Asheville, North Carolina, when it surfaced. The porch creaked beneath my feet, the Blue Ridge mountains shrouded in mist beyond the yard. I baked for church teas, pruned flowers, smiled at my grandchildren. But beneath it all, a secret lay buried. Can one piece of paper unravel a life you've buried? I never thought it could, until Lily found the letter. Who found it? That's the question that keeps me awake. The one that pulls me back to a past I thought I'd locked away. It was spring 2023, and I was sorting boxes in the attic, the air thick with dust and memory. Lily, my 18-year-old granddaughter, was helping, her dark hair falling over her shoulders as she rifled through old quilts. She found it in a rusted tin box, a single letter, cream paper creased, its ink faded but legible. Her eyes widened, scanning the words I'd written to Thomas 10 years ago. My heart stopped. The attic seemed to shrink, the light dimming through the small window. I stood frozen, my hands trembling, as the past clawed its way back. Do you know the weight of a secret suddenly exposed? Lily looked up, her blue eyes, William's eyes steady, but curious. Grandma, who's Thomas? She asked, her voice soft, almost afraid. I wanted to lie, to say it was nothing, a story I'd invented. But the truth pressed against my throat. An old friend, I said, my voice thin, from long ago. It was a half-truth, flimsy as the paper in her hands. She didn't press further, but her gaze lingered, heavy with questions. I took the letter, folding it back into the box, but the damage was done. The air between us had changed. What would you say if your deepest secret was laid bare? 10 years ago, I was 65, volunteering at a bookstore in Asheville. The shelves smelled of old paper, the light warm and golden. That's where I met Thomas, 62, a poet who owned a cafe down the street. His dark hair was streaked with silver, his gray eyes sharp yet kind, his tweed vest wrinkled from hours spent writing. We talked about poetry, Frost, Dickinson, the way words could hold a life. His voice felt like home, low and deliberate, stirring something in me I thought had died. Have you ever loved someone so deeply it felt like a betrayal of everything else? Our connection grew in quiet moments. He'd read me his poems, his fingers brushing mine as he passed the page. One evening, in the cafe's back room, the air thick with coffee and lamplight, he kissed me. It was soft, hesitant, but it burned through me. My heart raced, torn between the thrill and the guilt of betraying William, my husband of 40 years, a retired teacher with gray hair and blue eyes that trusted me completely. We met in secret after that, late nights in the cafe, walks along the French Broad River under moonlight. I'd sit by the water, his arm around me, his warmth seeping into my bones. I wrote him letters, pouring my longing onto cream paper, words I never sent but hid in that tin box. Each touch, each whisper, felt like a theft, yet I couldn't stop. Can you let go of a love that feels like part of your soul? The affair lasted 2 years. Thomas moved to Charleston in 2015, called away by family, his sister's illness, he said. We said goodbye by the river, the water murmuring under a gray sky. He gave me a poetry book, its pages worn, inscribed, "For Agnes, my quiet muse." My eyes stung as I took it, knowing I'd never see him again. I locked the book and letters in the tin box, buried my grief, and returned to William, who never suspected. The bungalow's routine, his laughter, our shared dinners, swallowed my secret. But it lived in me, heavy as stone. Lily's discovery broke that silence. She didn't tell her parents, my children, but her visits grew sparse, her hugs tighter, her eyes searching. I felt her see me differently, not just the grandmother who baked pies, but a woman with a past, flawed and human. Why do we hold on to secrets that wound us, do you think? I carried mine in the quiet of the bungalow, in the scent of hydrangeas, in the creak of the floors. Last month, I burned the letters, in the backyard, under a purple twilight. I stood by the fire pit, watching the cream paper curl into ash. The poetry book I kept, its inscription, a weight I couldn't burn. I thought of Thomas, his voice, his touch, and William, who loved me without knowing. Regret settled in my bones, late and useless. I'd kept my secret to protect my family, but it cost me Lily's unshadowed love. Who else might know? The question lingers, as faint as the smoke rising from the fire. If you were me, would you confess your secret or let it burn to ash? I'm sharing this with you, strangers who'll never see my face, because it's easier than telling my children. Share your story, a hidden love, a letter never sent. Like, subscribe, and join our channel for more stories that touch the heart.